Python web development class. We'll be discussing Flask, which is the micro framework for developing web apps quickly in Python, SQLite, which is a database management system, the most popular, or not popular per se, but the most common. It's on all phones. SQLite is inbuilt into phones, and it's a database management system which is light, portable, and that's what we'll be using for database management here. Then we have Ginger 2, which is the templating engine that we'll be using for our HTML, CSS management on the back end. Okay, my name is Agode Joseph Kayode, and I'm the MD CEO of Uber IT Nigeria. Uber IT is the fastest growing IT solutions company in Nigeria. We've developed software solutions across very many professional divides in the medical space, in the educational space, we're in the retail space. We are almost everywhere. Okay, so so again, you're welcome to this class. So the first thing you'd want to know is we're talking about Flask, and Flask is a Python micro framework. So what is Python? Okay, you see the icon to the left, which is a picture of an animal, and then the icon to the right, which is a logo for Python programming language. Okay, so Python itself is a programming language that was developed by a group of people to teach programming to little kids. So what you would find out is that Python is really very easy to learn. If you are used to Java, you're used to C Sharp and C++ and the other high-level programming languages, you'll see that Python is really very simple to pick up. Okay, it's an object-oriented programming language as well. If you don't understand what that means, don't worry for now. But basically, it just means it is a more sophisticated language, high-level language, which is written, developed to teach for the purpose of teaching kids. Essentially, that's also Python was made for. And so, what then is Flask? Flask is a Python micro framework for fast web app development. Okay, Flask is not the only framework there is. Some people like to call it a language, a programming language, but it's not really a programming language because the real programming language is Python. Okay, so but it's a framework, means it was written in a specific way to be able to make programming easier, web programming easier for the users. Okay, so SQLite, like I mentioned earlier, is a database management tool which we'll be using for our Python web app. There are many database management tools you can use. You can use MySQL, you could use Oracle, you can even use Excel, but for the purpose of this training, we'll be using SQLite. Now, a question might arise that what is database? Okay, so a database, for those who are new to it, is a base for data. Essentially, it's a store for data, a container for data. But the data that we're looking at in the case of SQLite is structured data. Okay, it might interest you to know that your Microsoft Word is also a database because you type things and then you save. So it is saving data for you, the storage for data. Okay, but it is referred to as an unstructured data because you are not able to really structure your data in terms of columns and rows and how things are, easily queried. Querying means how you get the information you need from the database. So SQLite is a structured database management tool that we'll be using for our Flask training. Ginger 2 is a templating engine. So if you're familiar with HTML, which is a prerequisite for this class, you would see how we'll be using Ginger 2 in interesting ways. Okay, so the idea of writing and rewriting codes, all of that is not necessary, when you have a base code and then you import that base code, you make some modifications to you import as a template basically, and then you plug in the various blocks as need be. Okay, don't worry if you don't understand what I just expressed. As time goes on, I would understand this better. Okay, so here we are. If a good friend of mine from Kwara State, Nigeria, told me this. The best way to start is to start from the start. Very interesting quote. So, how do we start from the start in dealing with Flask? We must understand what the requirements are, right? So, what are the requirements for this training session? The number one requirement is that you as a student, you have a basic understanding of HTML already. You have a basic understanding of CSS, and you have a basic understanding of JavaScript. Okay. Requirement two is that you install Python to your computer system. A quick way to check whether you have Python installed or not is to go to your command prompt, or if you are using, that's if you're on Windows. If you're using Mac OS like I am, you go to the terminal and then you type in Python, you put in double hyphens, and then you type version. Okay, so when you put enter like that, you see the version of Python you are running. But because I'm using a Mac, um, you can have a minimum of a maximum, I think, of two um, Python languages running, Python versions running, sorry. So the first version that you see there as Python 2.7.16 is an old version of Python that came bundled with the Mac operating system. Okay, but because I need some functions and some new ways of approaching my Flask and Python, I installed Python 3. So if you want to check if you have Python 3 going on, you type Python 3 double hyphen and then version. So it shows you the version of Python you are running, Python 3. In my own case, I'm running Python 3.9.1. So if we are going to be on the same page, please make sure you install Python 3.9. Okay, and then Visual Studio Code. I'm using Visual Studio Code to manage my own code base. I'll be writing my code base in Visual Studio Code. Some use Sublime, which is what I used to use that. Some use NetBeans, some use Atom. There are a number of them out there, but the what I consider the best for this project, some use PyCharm as well, but what I consider the best for this particular project is Visual Studio Code, and I'm going to show you why in a few minutes. And then the last requirement is that you come with a willingness to learn. So, as a student of this class, you're engaging this class from the comfort of your homes or offices, or chairs, wherever you are. If you are not willing enough to learn, the first few engagements would wear you out. So if you are willing to learn, you the willingness will see you have a tenacity that will see you through these training sessions. Okay, so you need to come with the willingness to learn. And as I mentioned in my introduction, probably one-on-one introduction, the willingness to learn is really very important. Okay, we will be attempting to create an inventory management system, a basic inventory management system, which will have the login for the staff, which will have the client's um, information in tables. It will be stored there. That's people who come into your store to buy things. And then you have another table for all your items in the store. Uh, and then the transactions, the price points, and all of that. This is what we'll be attempting to create. So, thank you very much for this introduction, for joining in this introduction. The next class will be going in depth into understanding Visual Studio Code and the various ways to engage Flask, starting with what you see then. All right, then.